Hey Chicago golfers, we are in the midst of golf season and many of you have rounds coming up that you want to play well for. You might be going on a golf trip, you might have a work outing, you might be playing in a member guest or invited to a private club, and this should be really exciting for you. Or you might be a little bit nervous, a little anxious that your skills won't hold up. So in this video, I want to give you 5 tips to help you build confidence before your next round of golf. Let's get started. Tip number 1 is be prepared. If you have an upcoming golf trip, you want to make sure to hit some golf balls and play some golf in the weeks leading up to the trip. Maybe even take a lesson. You want to be able to hit some different shots before you play this round of golf. You want to see if you could get some confidence, with your driver, your irons, a short game and putting. And this preparation, it helps us so that way we don't feel anxious before our round. Part of being prepared on that day of your round is also showing up to the golf course an hour early. You want to be able to check in, warm up your body, hit some balls and see the ball flight. You want to give yourself a chance to hit some chip shots and hit some putts, give yourself a feel for the green. You could also use an app like the Grint or Baby Fade, and you can go on these apps and you can scope the golf course before you even play. So you can make a little bit of a game plan and see how far the par 3s are, see which holes you're going to use driver and which one you're not. So we do not want to just show up to the golf course running late, go straight from our car to the first tee box. That's actually how you become anxious before your round. So tip number one, be prepared. Step number 2 is simplify your golf swing. Now, believe me, this is easier said than done. We can make the golf swing as complex or as simple as you want to make it. But if we were making it really simple, I think a review of the pre-swing fundamentals is always important at every level of the game. We want to be able to put our hands on nicely, where we have the creases in between my thumb and my index finger, where we have the creases go into our trail shoulder with both hands. We could hold the golf club up, it's vertical. All right. We have good alignment when you're practicing on the range. Throw a stick on the ground, or if you're out there on the course, you could put a club across your thighs or your shoulders. I don't think people completely lose their swings from one round to another, but these pre-swing fundamentals can drift, hands drift, alignments drift. I want you to have a nice routine of putting your hands on the club first, aiming your club to the target, aiming your body to the club. And then if we're in a good spot, ideally we want to be able to get something where we're going back and through. I think having good rhythm and balance is the glue of the golf swing. I can't tell you how many players I've talked to who have played well, and I always ask them, what are you thinking? Have said that they've had rhythm-related thoughts on the golf course. They're like, man, I felt like I was just going smooth, but the ball was going really far. But see if you could simplify your golf swing. We can't be changing our swing and be thinking about so many swing thoughts. We got to be target-oriented when we're out there playing. So simplify your golf swing. Tip number 3 for building some confidence is acceptance. So before your round of golf, I want you to accept that you're going to hit some good and bad shots. We see that at every level of golf. When I watch rounds, the major championships on TV, you'll see the leaders, and they're hitting some great shots, but they also hit bad shots. And even when I watch Tiger Woods highlights on YouTube, when he's winning these tournaments, he was hitting some awesome shots, and then even he was hitting some bad shots out there. So this one hits home to me. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I used to get pretty upset when I would hit a bad shot out there on the golf course. I still do sometimes, but it's gotten a little bit better over the years. I used to hit it really well on the range, and then as soon as I would go on the course and hit a bad one, I'd lose it. And just knowing that you could still play good golf with the bad shots. We try not to let one bad shot ruin our hole. And we're trying not to let one bad hole ruin our round. We're trying to kind of be factual when we hit a bad shot. Like, what was it? Was I aimed wrong? Like, what was going on there? We're trying to kind of keep our emotions. I think it's really easy to get upset and then get really tense and really tight and then start speeding up your routine and then start start to take more high risk shots, like you're going on tilt, you're kind of losing your mind out there. And then after a few holes, you kind of get it back and you're like, what just happened? So before your round, accept that you're gonna hit some good and bad shots. And that actually leads us to the next tip. Tip number 4 is make high percentage decisions when we're out there on the golf course. We want to make high percentage plays. What do I mean by that? All right. I want you to choose clubs that you know you could hit. Know thyself. Know what you could do. If you're new to the game, maybe you can't hit a 3-wood and you can't hit a 5-iron, but that's okay. You're good at hitting a 7-iron. Use your 7-iron. I want you to be over shots where you're like, okay, I know I could hit this club. I don't want you to be choosing clubs that you know you can't hit, but you pulled it out anyway because you should hit it. I want you to pick targets where you don't have to be perfect. We're going to hit to zones. So if we see a lake or out of bounds, let's aim away from that. If there is, like this one, there's a bunker on the right, I might aim a little bit left of that. We want to hit to these zones, and it means that we don't have to be perfect, and we're not going to be perfect out there. If we pick these conservative aim points, then we can miss it a little left, a little right, a little short, a little long, and we're okay. So if you can't hit driver, you might have to take a 3-wood or a hybrid that day. You know, I want to help you develop your skills so you could hit all your clubs, but know yourself at that moment in time. You're like, man, it's just not working right now. It's okay. We'll get driver on another day. Use your hybrid. You could still go out there and play good golf and have fun. So make high percentage plays. If you're out of position, if you're in the trees, get that ball in the play. You don't have to go through the small gap. Just go through the big gap. If you're not good with chipping, like putt it. You know, so just make high percentage plays when you're out there. And if you do that over the entirety of the round, you will definitely shoot lower than if you made high risk decisions. Tip number 5, and this one is play freely, okay? Playing freely means that you're getting out of your own way. You're tapping into your subconscious and athleticism. There's an old saying, golf saying, see it, feel it, trust it. Okay, so part 1 is see it. We want to visualize. Let me bring a shot up here. I'll bring a short game shot, okay? So we first visualize a successful outcome. And, you know, if I was visualizing the short game shot, I would probably land it. I see slope going this way, so I'm going to land the ball a little bit to the right. And then I ask myself, hey, like what club do I need to make this nice medium ball flight? I'm not trying to flop it or low. I'm just going to go with the sand wedge, okay? And we want to visualize success, and that's the first part. And then part 2 is feel it, see it, feel it, trust it, feel it. All right. We want to be able to build a good feeling in our body. If it's a full swing and you've been taking lessons, you're working on having a square club face, take that concept and put it into a 1-second feel before you hit the ball. We don't want to be over the golf ball with all these swing thoughts. In this case, with the chip shot, I'm doing a couple practice swings. I'm like, okay, I know this is too small. I know this is too big. So I think something like this is correct. All right? So then I saw it, I felt it, and then this last part is trust it. You know, once you walk into it, find your balance, look at the target, and then just pull the trigger. Okay? So land it, keep going. But that's true of tee shots, putts. You would rather be, you know, decisive and trust what's going on than being over the ball, kind of thinking and a little bit anxious. So we want to tap into your inner athlete. We want to make the game reactive, and it's fun. That's actually how we get into the zone. So I hope those tips help you get a little more confident on the golf course. You know, this is more of kind of a mental game video and getting you prepared for your next round of golf. But we have a lot of golf left to play this season, so good luck out there and reach out if you have any questions. Thanks.